Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun. So, welcome back from vacation.
Yay! It was such a good vacation. I know it's so weird. We're totally recording on a weird night because I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lovely 55 degrees here in Illinois. I just came back from like 90 degrees and like
you couldn't
87.
bring him with you, huh?
Oh, I tried. 87% humidity out there.
Oh.
I was so sweaty all the time.
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls. Thanks, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
So I want to talk a little bit about my vacay. So I show up at this hotel that I thought I had booked a room for me and my girlfriend for, and there's like 40 people in line. There's one person checking in all these people, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, there's all these people standing around me, and I'm like, I'm about ready to go Karen on these people, and this lady behind me is laughing, you know? So I see these two women walk by, and they look like managers, and I was like, excuse me, are you a manager? And you can just tell she's like, oh. Fudge. So I'm like, you know, I've been trying to call the hotel for like 3 days, and like, you can't get through. It just keeps looping you on the menus, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Now everybody around me is like, yeah, I've been trying to call too. What the
Us
hell?
too.
Yeah. And I was like, we're taking this place over. We're going to go swim in your pool. We don't care. So she's like, let me get the manager, this and that. She's like, the hotel's changing hands and the website sucks and the phone sucks. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to fucking tell us, lady. We know, you know. We've been trying to get a hold of this place. None of us even know if we have room reservations, you know.
And you had reservations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I thought I did. I could have swore I put in all my credit card information. So she's like, let me go get the manager. So then the manager comes out and starts helping check people in. And I was like, yeah.
All right. What was she doing back there?
Yeah, I don't know. Eating crackers. I don't know. So I can tell the hotel was very busy. Like, there's some sort of competition going on.
Oh, there's always something going on down there,
yes,
though, right?
Yes. There's like this group of like, you know, I'll say like between 14 and 16-year-old boys that come in, and they all have like medals, like silver medals around their necks. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Is it the Olympics? You know, what's going on? So anyways, you can tell it's busy, and the hotel is probably booked. And I actually overheard the other lady checking somebody in. She goes, well, you were supposed to be here yesterday. That wasn't a confirmed room. So you booked it through Expedia or whatever. So they got rid of your confirmation. Like, you don't have a hotel room. And I'm like, oh, shit, we're not going to get a hotel room. So I'm talking to the manager, and I was like, yeah, you know, like, I should have a room. I can't get a hold of anybody. I never got a confirmation, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, yeah, you have a reservation in here. She's like, it's the 3rd through the 5th. And I was like, no, it's supposed to be the 1st through the 3rd. And I'm like, oh, my God, did I book the wrong day? And I'm like, this is outrageous.
What's wrong with your website?
This is I already know your website is crap. The lady admitted it, you know? So, yeah. So, long story short, well, it was kind of a long story. But anyways, so we got a room. It wasn't the room we wanted, but we got a room. We had a place to stay. We didn't have to bunk together, which, you know, we wouldn't have cared. It's like my best friend, but she didn't want me snoring in her ear. You know, so we all know
you
how
had to
I
have
get.
you were getting 2 rooms.
No, we were just going to get one room.
Oh, okay.
But she was like, you know, like at first she's like, well, it might not be like an ocean view. And I was like, that's fine, whatever. And she's like, it might only be 1 bed. And I was like,
okay, I see what
you're
saying.
So, yeah. So we got a nice view of the A1A, whatever, you know. It's like everybody drag racing at 3 a.m. past the hotel, you know. But we had a good time, whatever.
Good. I mean, you barely sleep out there anyways.
3 a.m. we were like just crawling into bed. We're like,
woo!
Yeah, take us for a ride. I keep telling my husband, I'm like this close. You can't see my fingers, but they're really not far apart at all. I'm like this close to moving down to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You belong there. You belong there. You love it there.
Except it's very hot and sweaty.
Yeah, well, that's all right though.
Yeah,
you know, it's better than the winters here.
Yeah, I would hope I'd get acclimated to it eventually.
You
I might
would.
drop a couple pounds just sweating it out.
Yeah, walking everywhere, right? Everything's pretty close around there.
Yeah.
That's all we ever do is walk.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I know. I know a lot of people. They're moving to Tennessee. They're moving to Florida. They're done. They're done with this state.
I know.
They just want.
Over it.
They want better. They want
so
better.
over
So
it. If you're listening from not Illinois, the best advice I can give you is not to move to Illinois.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think everybody knows.
I mean, we have great jobs. We have great friends that live here, but I think we
Yeah.
all want to go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm done. I'm done. That's why I didn't have any kids. Like, there's nothing holding me back. I do have a stepdaughter, but she's grown. She's got kids. Like, she takes care of herself. She rarely asks for help, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So she's got a good head on her shoulders. She had a good mom and dad raise her. So
tell me about the signs that you were seeing at the restaurants, though, because we're going through this weird labor shortage. Everybody wants to be home. We kind of touched on it last time.
So as we all know, nobody wants to work right now because unemployment is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we talked about in our last episode, people are learning to live with a minimum, you know?
Yeah.
And we would go up to this restaurant and it's like 3 levels. They have a bottom level, they have a middle level, each one has a bar, and then they have the rooftop where you can like look at the ocean while you're eating this and that. Only level they had open. Then they have a chain across the door that says, please wait to be seated. We're on limited staff. People are working doubles. Please be kind.
Wow.
This and that. And it's like, they can't get anybody to work out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida is hard enough to get people to work because it's a lot of older people.
Yeah,
People
retired.
go there to retire,
Yep.
you know? So they don't want to work anyways. And then, you know, people have the option to stay home right now. Ain't nobody working.
Yeah, and then you were talking about how McDonald's has a $500 sign-on bonus.
I saw that. That was here. I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was driving.
companies are trying everything to just get that extra body in the door.
And that's what I was saying. Like, that's great. You're going to give a $500 bonus, but what about after that?
Yeah, because
they pay them $9.25 an hour.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to pay a minimum wage after that.
In Florida, I saw overnight help wanted, and they were offering $12 an hour. I was like,
oh
good
yeah,
luck.
I don't know.
Offer them $20 an hour, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you could fill it. You know, might not be the greatest help, but as long as they show up,
I would like to
cares?
hear from someone if it's worth paying the extra money for the people, or do you lose money paying more, or are you losing more money not getting the work done? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, for
can't
my
tell
company,
me.
we have a labor shortage.
Right.
And there's a shortage on gas, and there's a shortage on drivers, and there's a shortage on
Right.
just people in warehouses, right?
Yes.
For it's all the same reason.
Yes.
So you're losing money because you can't get the product out to the stores.
Right.
So then you're going to offer a little more money. Do you lose more money by losing the product
No.
out to the stores, or do you
Yes.
lose,
Yes, you do. Because you can't tell me a place like McDonald's or Walmart or any fast food place is losing sleep over giving an extra $2-3 an hour.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Give me a break. The CEOs can take a pay cut. I'm sure anybody I know would agree with me. They can take a pay cut and pay their employees a little more. So, I mean, this is an uprising in our country right now because people are like, screw it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good and it's bad. It's good for us because it's going to raise minimum wage, but it's bad for all these companies and stores and, nobody will show up to work.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, even the stores I go to every day. Since I started in August, not one store have I walked into, have I not seen help wanted. We're hiring, apply now, you know?
Oh, you see it everywhere. We were Julie and I were sitting at a light, and she's like, "Well, if you lose your job, you can go to Arby's because they're hiring.
Everywhere.
Like everybody's hiring.
Everybody. I feel like you could walk into a place and be like, give me $50,000 a year and I'll just run this place. I'll work 12 hours a day. They'd be like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
you're
God
hired.
somebody stepped up
Do you have
to the
any
plate.
kind of, no.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty smart, you know? Even if you're not, I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. You can see it. I went to Michigan last week. It was a quick turnaround trip. Yeah. We were having some issues, like talking about labor issues. We couldn't get product to the store. It was a grand opening. It was a lot busier than they thought it was going to be. It was just hitting sales.
So were you just like running from the warehouse to the store? Like,
so I ran from store to store, actually.
Yeah.
I ran to a store. I actually got very lucky. On Thursday night I got there. I went to go look at the store, and I thought, okay, yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
They're not going to be ready for the Mother's Day weekend. So on Friday morning, I stopped at a store that was kind of in between the hotel and the store I was supposed to be going to. That was the grand opening, and got super lucky. The manager there was amazing.
Oh, nice.
And she said, take what you need.
Oh, nice.
She's like, I have plenty. What you see on my shelf is just what's going to get me through the weekend. I have a walk tomorrow. I'm not worried about it. Take what you need. So it was like 6
cases.
Crates. Crates of product that I needed for this other store. So I was able to regain, the space that I needed. They had some stuff in the cooler. Luckily, they were getting 100 units the next day, luckily.
Yeah.
So they were able to work that out. But I get there, and I'm trying to find anybody. There was one person in cheese. and they have it separated where it's like hot foods on one side and then like slicey meat and cheeses on the other side, and then meat's like way down. It's a ginormous store.
Yeah.
Huge store. And so I'm just looking for anyone that I could say, hey, I'm here. This is why I'm touching the product. This is why you see it coming through the front door instead of the back door. You know, you didn't have to go to receiving. And there was no one to be found.
No.
Like chickens were cooking, they were getting ready,
and
there was maybe some lights on, but there's nobody around. So I did the same thing. One person started walking past. I'm like, excuse me, and you could see their face like, oh crap,
God.
I'm in bakery, what do you
Please
want?
Don't talk to me. I have way too much to do right now. Nobody will work here.
And I was said, is there anybody in deli? You know, I just try to make it fun, like, is there something I can help with? And she was like, you know, honestly, I have not seen anyone. I think I've maybe seen the manager. So I was like, oh boy, you know. So sure enough, I found like a couple people in the back room, and I said, you know, hey, I'm here, and you know, I'm just here to help. And you could just see the relief, like, what can you do? And you know, they gave me easy stuff, which
like,
was
you know
fine.
how to run a slicer.
Yeah, and some stocking, and I just made sure the reason why I was there was done good, you know. But it was I don't know. It was pretty crazy to have a grand opening. You only have like one person per department.
That's crazy.
They just said they can't hire anyone. They couldn't keep anyone.
Because we know we've worked in stores long enough doing grand openings.
Yeah.
Like Drew was talking about. They have like a buffet lunch for all these people, you know, and now it's like. Pfft.
Yep. I love grand openings.
Yeah.
Re-grands, grand openings, they are so fun. Yes, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You go there to work.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
But there's also 500 people there working, you know? So you're just
there
like,
is, and that's what's so fun about it.
Yeah.
There's so many people. So now there were 2 weeks after this grand opening. So of course, everyone left from the other stores. There was no more help. And now I wouldn't say reality set in because they still had less than they should have. But I love grand openings. So yes, you have all these people. I'll never forget that we were in a store around here, and it was like no one shopped for months knowing the store was going to open.
Oh my God.
And so I helped out in the deli, and we don't work weekends, but I said, you know what? I am going to go help out. You know, the merchandiser had asked me, he was like, is there any way, like, you've been with me from the beginning, it was like 3 years in. He's like, I just need you, you know, over the weekend. So I was like, fine, I'll take Saturday off because it was a long few weeks. Yeah. I said, I'll come in on Sunday. I got there early. It was packed.
Oh, I'm sure.
You couldn't, like, you would make, like, you know, taco dips, or you would slice stuff, and you would walk out there and be like, excuse me. Like, you couldn't get through anybody.
And they're like grabbing it off your tray.
Oh my gosh. We were like making
these
these makeshift tables to like make, you know, 50 taco
like I sent
dips
you
at
the
one
snap
time.
Today of the girl dipping the strawberries.
No, I would do it. I would clean off the table. But yes, it would be like a makeshift table, but it would be clean.
Yeah.
And we would just make like 50 taco dips at one time and do, you know, like it was like I was a machine.
Yeah.
And then it came to like lunchtime, and I'm like, I'm kind of hungry, and then it kind of passed because you just like don't pay attention.
You forget, yeah.
So then he came over and he was like, we need more sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Like, so I start rolling.
And you're
all
like
this stuff.
eating a sandwich while you're making them.
I absolutely ate the butt of a marble bread piece of, you know, so like funny. The end of it. I hate the ends.
It's the hoe, because everybody touches it. Nobody wants it.
That was the best. I ate the hoe. And so I'm laughing because you're not really supposed to eat back there, you know, especially during the grand opening.
Ain't no rules during grand opening.
No rules. So I'm like crying, laughing because we were all just so exhausted. I'm like, I'm eating this marble bread, la la la. That was like all you could do, you know. And thank goodness there was a Starbucks there because, you know, you lived off of caffeine. I mean, I think I probably worked like 18 hours that day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was from start to finish
insane.
and then cleaned afterwards. You know,
gosh.
It was so much fun though. I mean, I took that Monday off. I think everybody did, and the new shift came in. But they're so fun. It's fun. It's so fun. I love it. As long as your product comes in.
Right.
As long as you have the stuff that people are coming in to shop.
And you have help.
It was crazy. Like, people just had all these cartloads. I mean, there was families that would come in and they would have 4 cartloads of stuff, like jam packed. And it wasn't even like the big sales. It was just like they hadn't shopped.
Right.
It was like they bought that extra freezer and that extra fridge just for this. Yeah. And you know, that store is still very busy.
Oh yeah.
Still
I know
very
which store
busy.
you're talking about.
Yeah, you go there on a Saturday, you know, and thank goodness they have a huge parking lot. And, I mean, I think for like 6 weeks after, they still, or maybe even longer than that, they had a police car that would be out there, direct traffic during lunchtime. And that happened for a long time. I remember visiting, man, you know, I want to say it was like 3 months later maybe, and they were still out there at lunch. That might be a little dramatic, but I don't think so.
That's crazy.
I remember going, wow, you got to be kidding me. This store's still busy.
That's good, though. That means they picked the right location,
They
right?
absolutely did. Yeah. It's a great city, and it's the best that's out there. So, yeah. There was another store across the street that closed. The second they knew the store was opening, they closed.
Yeah.
They closed. They said they knew they weren't going to compete. And they were getting older. And I remember talking to them when they came in and they said, oh, we used to own the place across the street. We just retired. We said, we'll just enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It was like a family-owned business?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it was big,
wasn't
though.
a big one.
It was a big store.
Oh.
And a lot of people shopped there, but they just knew it was time. So, yeah.
They couldn't compete with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're fun. Truly recording now. Sure? We just talked for 20 minutes and I looked at my screen and went, motherfucker.
I can't believe we just chatted.
I'm sweating. We chatted by ourselves.
For 20 minutes.
I mean, we do anyway.
Through the microphone. Nobody heard those great stories.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll try again. I'm just going to start with a whole new story and then we'll circle back.
We'll go back to me being 2 miles away from Canada last week.
So we were talking about grand openings.
Yeah.
And I remember grand openings for the store we used to work at. They'd put us up in a hotel.
Okay.
And it was always fun,
I never did any.
You didn't do any?
I didn't do any. I was the one that had to stay at the store and make sure the store didn't catch on
Sucker.
fire. Yep.
Yeah, no, grand openings were the best, except the night before the grand opening, you were there for a week before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd meet all these people from all these different stores because they would come from everywhere and they'd put us all in a hotel together. We'd be drinking by the pool. We'd be getting dinner together. Usually you had a couple people you knew from your store there too, know? And then always the night before the grand opening, you'd get drunk and then you'd be all hungover for the grand opening.
Wait,
this is
you
the worst
or
day ever.
everybody?
Everybody. I remember, okay, so we were at this hotel and for some reason the bar wasn't open that night. It was probably a Sunday night. I don't even know.
How'd you not be open?
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't open. But so, because I always came prepared. I'd bring a bottle of vodka and a 12er.
Just in case.
So we can just drink wherever in the lobby, by the pool, in our rooms, whatever, And this random guy walks in. We're just chilling. We were still sitting in the bar area, but the bar wasn't open. And I had a bottle of vodka sitting there because we were mixing it with whatever we had, know? And he goes, I got some fresh squeezed orange juice. You guys want some fresh? And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I'm like, of course I want some fresh squeezed orange juice. So he brought us a whole nice glass the hotel has for water and juice filled with fresh squeezed orange juice. And I was like, this is amazing. I had the worst heartburn ever, but it was so good. We drank that whole thing and then we were like, we don't know that guy. What if he slipped us something in that orange
Was he a
juice?
Guest at the hotel?
He was a guest at the hotel.
Where was he squeezing the orange juice in his hotel bathroom?
I don't know. I don't know how he did it. I didn't ask questions. I just drank the orange juice. I was much younger then and more brave and a little crazier back then. I didn't ask where it came from.
And not as smart?
I know. And everyone's like, are you sure you want to drink that orange juice? I'm like, here, I'll drink it first and we'll see if I die.
Yeah,
and
if
then
I start to fall asleep.
And everybody was like, okay, yeah, that looks really good. It was literally fresh squeezed orange juice. It was so good. So we're at this grand opening and I'm hungover and it's they would corral people. They would have America, what do you call it? Great America lines.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you have to go through, you're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
And people would just ditch whole carts of stuff because it would take so long to check out, And I have these two ladies. One is in a Mart cart. And it's her daughter is with her or something. And I'm flying. I'm like, beep, beep, beep.
Oh, yeah.
Beep,
You're
beep,
very
beep,
fast
beep,
at,
beep, beep,
yeah.
and she's like, can you slow down? I can't see the prices. I'm like, ma'am, there's 500 people behind you trying to check out. I don't know why you decided to do your whole shopping today, but we need to be quick, I get called.
Check a receipt.
I'm like, I get called into the office. And here I'm like, I don't care. This is my store. I don't even work here. I'm from another store. I don't care. I don't care. And the lady's like, you can't be rude to people. And I was like, but I just was. I'm like, she was rude,
she started it.
She wants me to slow down. Do you want these people checked out or not?
Do you want to make money here or not?
I will go check out of my hotel and I will get in my car and I will go home. I was super sassy to the lady. She didn't
I
appreciate
bet you were
it,
not that sassy to the customer. Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine you
she
being
was mean.
like that.
She was like,
She was mean. Oh, okay.
Mean.
She was mean.
She was a Karen. She was a total Karen.
Yeah.
And I was not having it. I was like, listen, you big B word. I am not here to mess around. Like I said, there was literally, like, I'm not even exaggerating saying there was 500 people behind her waiting to check out.
Wow.
And she had like 2 carts full of shit.
Yeah, wow.
You know, and I have a bagger. So if I have a bagger,
you're very
they can't
quick.
even keep up with me. Well, I'm scanning and bagging and they're bagging, you know?
Yes.
So, and, you know, my bagger was pretty decent, but I was like, go get another cart. Like, start filling that shit up, you know?
Yep.
That lady did not like it. I'm like, how are you going to complain that you got good, fast service?
Yeah, I know.
Just because you can't make sure your can of beans was 99 cents. Bitch, get out.
Yeah, just look at your receipt after and then stand in the real long line for the service desk.
I want my 8 cents back right now. I'll never shop here again.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Where else are you going to go to, you know? So, but you recently had to travel for work.
I did. Last week I traveled and I was so excited because I sent a screenshot to the kids and I said, I am 2 miles from Canada.
Which if I was 2 miles from Canada, I would have gone to Canada.
I know. We were talking about that because I didn't have my passport with. Yes, I brought like 4 change of clothes because I wasn't sure how long I was going to stay. I didn't know how much the store needed me.
Right.
We had heard that it was unbelievably busy.
You just didn't know what you were going to be doing when you got to Michigan.
So
you came prepared.
You know, I drive east all the way through Michigan, and the last exit was I would either go right into Canada or I would go left to where I needed to go. Do you know how hard it was for me to not go right?
I would have went to Canada.
Just to send a picture and say I'm in Canada.
I'm a Canadian now.
Yep. See y'all at the end of the weekend. Peace out.
And they would have been like, what's your business here in Canada? And you're like,
I know.
I just want to drive around a little.
You know what? And it was funny because on the way there, I kept seeing the signs. You know, entrance to Canada, essential workers only.
Yeah.
Entrance to Canada, essential workers only. I'm like,
which clearly, if you're driving into another state for work, you're essential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So I really wanted to go.
I really want to go to Canada. I've never been to Canada.
I know where to go now. I can tell you exactly how to get there.
Tell me how to get there
because I just did it last week.
You sent me the MapQuest directions. Can you print it out for me?
I remember doing that. It was the worst.
And you'd be trying to drive and read. And it was like, it would tell you the stupidest shit, like stay on 290, but it'd tell you to merge onto 290. And you're like, but I just have to go straight. I don't know. What does that mean?
You know what? My maps on my phone still does that. I mean, I have a map in my car, but I really don't like it because I like to listen to music. So I don't want it to go bing every time I have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like I'm jamming out to like Dave Matthews Maroon 5, you know, and it's a bing. I'm like, no, I can't.
Okay. So me and my bestie were driving across, right? So when I went down to Florida, we flew into the Gulf side. And then we went with another friend. We went and saw her parents and stayed with them for a couple days. And then we drove across the state to go see Jason. Hi, Jason. And stay with him for a couple days. So I figured out because we borrowed her mom's car. She was nice enough to let us to borrow her car. Brand new 2020 Kia Rio. I just remember the last time we went to Florida and we were renting cars, and me and my bestie's brother rented a Camaro. So we're like standing in line waiting for the Camaro. We're like, we're going to be so cool driving in this Camaro.
Yeah.
And this other couple is there checking out and they're like, ooh, Kia Rio. That sounds fancy. And it's like the tiniest car ever. I don't know if you know what a Kia Rio is, but Google it. It's like the tiniest car ever. Anyways,
it's great on gas, everyone.
Totally. It only took me like a half a tank of gas to get across the state of Florida. That was
gosh.
a 4-hour ride, you know? And I think to like fill it up, it was like $16. I was like, I put that every day in my tank, $16, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So anyways, we found out I can hook up my phone and then but I usually use Waze, right? Because Waze tells you
everything.
The cops are in front, you know,
like
potholes, roadkill, anything in the road. There's cars on the side of the road. Like, they warn you of everything.
Yeah.
People have to report it, but so many people use it. It's great. I freaking love Waze. Well, when I plug my phone in, it goes to Google Maps. I hate Google Maps.
Oh, yeah.
Half the time, the arrow is sideways going on the road. Like, it doesn't understand where I'm driving. I'm like, this thing is so messed up. Remember, I got a new phone when I started this job because I was like, Google Maps does not work. And that's when I got my Waze, was when I got my new phone. Anyway, so we're driving straight. We're on I-4, goes all the way across Florida.
Yeah.
Every single exit, it would ding and say, merge onto I-4. I'm like, we're not. I promise I will not exit until you tell me to. Every single exit.
Oh, wow.
And I was finally, I just turned the shit off. I was like,
I know where I'm going. Forget
pay
it.
attention because I don't want to drive into the ocean.
I'm stopping at this next Office Depot and I'm printing MapQuest.
Give me the damn map. You're right. Every it would be like merge on I-4, merge on I-4, merge on I-4, and it's like we're not turning. We're just going straight.
I had that happen a few times going to Michigan last week.
It drives me nuts. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going straight. I'm going straight.
I will. Yeah. I promise. I won't exit until you tell me.
Or take the exit for 94 left.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I get all nervous. I'm like, okay. I move all the way over to the left. Yeah. I'm like,
and you're like, oh, I just went past that exit. What the hell is going on? Can somebody fix that, please? Somebody at Google, can you please fix that?
So I'm the opposite of you. I love Google Maps.
I Google
have
Maps.
something in my car. I don't know, it's the makes map or whatever.
Right.
I don't know how. I cannot stand it. I always go past the road.
Oh,
like it'll go arrow right. And I'm like, and I pass it. So I cannot use my car one, which seems so silly because here I have this beautiful map that is so detailed in my car.
I wonder, though, if you use it more and more, if it will get acclimated.
I don't know. Maybe I should just map it to your house or to our bestie's house or whatever,
Because when it says 0.3 miles and then you got to be ready to turn. You know what I mean?
That's exactly how it is. And every time I'm like, and then it's recalculating. And then sometimes it doesn't read recalculating so that I'm just driving.
Yes. and the arrow's going sideways. And it's like you go around a corner.
It's like, pull a U-turn. I'm like, I can't pull a U-turn. I'm on the highway.
I'm on the tollway, bitch. Oh, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
That is so terrible.
Yeah, a couple times I had to do that. Last week,
I
was driving and it told me to get off on an exit. Well, you know what it did? It kept saying road construction's coming up, so we're going to take you the fastest route. So then I would get off on, exit 331, and then it would just bring me to the next exit and go around. I'm like, oh, this is
that
silly.
happened to us in Florida. It was recalculating, found a faster route.
Yes.
I got off. I did a U-turn and I got right back on. I'm like, how the hell was that faster? You cannot tell me that was faster.
It was having me go off the exit and then back on just to pass the 5 cars that were ahead of me. I'm like, okay. The first couple times I'm like, oh, okay, so get off, get back on. I'm like, wait a minute.
Why?
That truck is behind me now instead of.
I never even got in front of anybody. I'm pretty sure the car that I was behind was way up there then, what the hell was the point of that?
I don't know.
Oh, so stupid.
Oh man. Travels.
So speaking of Canada.
Oh, Canada.
I have some
Canada, eh?
I have some friends that live in Canada.
Okay. Me
too. I met these friends again from Jason. Hi, Jason.
Every time you feel like you have to say hi to him every time you say his name.
So, it was before he moved down to Florida.
Oh, okay.
It was the middle of August, and we were planning a birthday party for him and my nephew. And so the night before, he's driving home from wherever he was at, and he sees these 2 guys on the side of the road setting up a tent, randomly. There's, out here, there's cornfields everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's if you're not from here, you think, oh, I could pull off on this side of the road and go pee. No, that's a major road people use all the time, you can't really trust the cornfields out here because it's roads that people use.
Yeah.
So he sees these 2 kids setting up a tent and he sees their license plate says Canada. So he pulls over and he's like, are you guys cool? Did your car break down? They're like, oh man, we got here too late. The state park wouldn't let us in. So we thought we'd just pop up our tent right here. He's like, man, dude, you cannot pop up your tent right here. The police station is right down the road. You'll get arrested, this and that. He's like, come to my house. Follow me to my house. You can set up your tent. I got plenty of room, this and that. You can take a shower, blah, blah, blah. So it turns out these kids, one of the kids is going to college and the other one is riding with them. And to cross Canada, there's nothing, right? It's
nothing.
Probably cornfields. So they decided to come into the United States, come down into Illinois, go around the Great Lakes, and then go to New York and go back up by Niagara Falls. So he calls me the next day and he was like, hey, I know I'm supposed to be there in a little bit so we can have a birthday party. He's like, I picked up some Canadians. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, these Canadians were trying to camp on the road. I saved them. They were going to get arrested, being illegal aliens. He's like, do you care if they come? And I was like, bring the Canadians over. We got plenty of food, So they came over and they were so polite and like trying to take their shoes off in my house. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to take off your shoes. You know, like it was summer. Like it's not it's not like it just rained and everybody's covered in mud or anything.
And everybody usually hangs out in the back anyways.
Right. You know, we were hanging out in the backyard. They came in to like make their plates in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they go, this is really weird. Everywhere in America, like nobody takes off their shoes when they come into the house. And I was like, oh, my dirty American. So anyways, we had them over for lunch and everything, you know, and then I'm friends with them on Snapchat and Facebook and all that stuff. And one just recently got engaged. And I think the other one, we kind of talked about that a little bit ago. Like, did he graduate college? I don't know. I can't remember.
How many years ago was this?
It was like 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. So he probably did graduate college. Yeah.
And so we kept in touch with them for their whole trip, and they were like, oh my God, you guys were the nicest people we met on our whole trip. And I was like, you can come back anytime. The house is always open, you know, like.
So they don't have colleges in Canada?
Yeah,
it's just a better opportunity here.
No, they were just they were crossing Canada, but there's nothing to like do. Like they went to a Cubs game. They went to, I think, a Milwaukee Brewers game.
I see.
Like, they hit up, you know, a couple things on their way.
Very neat.
Because, like, they've probably seen everything in Canada. Mm-hmm. So they were like, we're going to take this opportunity to go through the States, you know? And, like, they went and saw Niagara Falls and all that stuff. Like, that was their last stop. So, yeah.
I wonder if I go out in the middle of nowhere and set up a tent, if anybody cool would stop by and be like, come
Probably
eat.
Not. You'd probably just get murdered. You listen to too many murder
really cool
mysteries.
People this weekend. Let me go set up a tent somewhere.
Just pick a road with 2 cornfields, one on each side, and maybe Jay will pull up.
Jay, can you come up here, please?
It's like when Dorothy does the ruby slippers. There's no place like home, and you're like, Jay, please come back. Jay, please come back. Jay, please come back.
He's like, nope.
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready to move down there.
I know.
I was just asking you, like, does my job? Good. Are they in Florida yet?
I know they're not in Florida
Damn
yet.
it.
Not yet.
Damn it. We need to get on that.
I know it would be easier to just be able to transfer. So,
yeah, they already know I'm a good worker.
For sure.
You know, I'm sure I'd get a good enough. Like, take her.
Yeah,
she works.
You were talking about cashiering. It reminds me of when I learned from, I think from you, and then someone else that works there, Carrie, who is unbelievably fast.
Yes.
Like the fastest.
Yes.
You two, I think, were the fastest when I worked there.
Well, you know what? I always looked up to Linda.
Oh,
Linda.
Yes.
She was much older than us.
She
and
knew all the numbers.
Ass.
Yeah, like all the. I always struggled with produce. Like I could do everything else, boom, 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 real fast, and then I would have to yell to somebody next to me, like, "What's avocados again?
Parsnips?
4225. Okay, fine. You know, I was terrible, but you guys were so fast.
Yeah.
But then I would have people in my lane, and I would be real fast if they didn't have produce.
Yeah.
And like guys or whatever, they'd come in and be like, "Man, you're fast," and I'd always be like, "Only in groceries."
Was that a pickup line?
I don't know.
They were like, oh.
Yeah, I know. A couple times. Man, you're really fast. And
you're
I'm
like,
just
don't bring me any bananas. I can't ever remember that number. No kiwis over here. I do actually, like, I remember cucumbers is 4062. Bananas is 4011.
Yep.
Tomatoes were 4087. That was like the Roma tomatoes, I think. But I had other Carrie, like we had like 4 Carries there, right?
Yes, we did.
And I had other Carrie that trained me, and literally how she trained me was she would just bag and she would boom, boom, boom. Avocados, that's the number.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the number. That's the number. So right away, because they like timed you. So right away, I was at like 135% because like, and they were like, you're amazing. How do you do it? There's like women that have worked there for like 4 years and they're at 85%. And they're like, I don't know how to get my numbers up. I'm like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Like you can talk and like scan at the same time.
Yes.
Some of these people, they have like this habit of once they're like, oh, what is this is amazing. Oh, is this good?
Oh,
I've never tried this
so much.
And you're like, you have to scan it and be like, oh, is that good? Yeah. Next thing. Oh yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll try that. You know, like
there's a woman at the place that I shop at in Spring Grove that does that. And she's always in the morning. Did I Have I talked about this before?
I don't think you've talked about it on here, but you've told me about it.
It's so funny. Like, she will look at every single thing and comment on it. So I only go to her if I have time, because she'll be like, oh, I've never tried this coconut water before. What's in it? And she like turns around and looks at the calories.
What's in it? It's coconut water. It's got coconut water in it. That's what it is.
Of course, Julia's vegan, so then I have like half vegan food and then half vegan food. So then she asks every time, well, you must have people that eat meat in your house and then people that don't. And so she's looking at, like, we always love this vegan chocolate cake that we buy. Well, what's in it? She's turning it around.
Oh my God, you're like, lady, just scan it and put it in the damn bag.
It is so funny. And then you ask her any question and she'll stop. Okay, so she had a bag of avocados and I asked her a question like, oh, is, whatever their game that they play or whatever, is that still going on? Yeah. And she holds the bag of avocados. She's like, I just don't know when that ends. And she's like talking with the
swinging it around.
And the guy behind me, he's got like a 6-pack of beer at like 7 a.m. He's looking at me like, oh my God, get me out of here.
This is 7 p.m. for me. I just got off of work. Exactly. I want to drink my beer and go to bed, bitches. Get the hell out of my way.
Funny. So if I see that she's there, I like buy 3 things, just a quick conversation. Yeah. I mean, she's so nice. I'm not complaining about her, but at that same store, I think I texted you. I always stop there to get coffee. Not always, but like 3 times a week, I'll go get coffee before I log in here because it's so close.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking from coffee, I'm getting into my car, and I see this gentleman. He's a young guy, I would think. I think he's a young guy. And he's got like the leather gloves on, the headband, the hat. He's got 2 name badges, like his name badge is on his hat. He's got putting on his jacket. I think he probably works in dairy or something. Yeah. He's got like the suspenders for the pants that are a little bit too short, but I think he purposely does that because he had these really colorful socks on, no slip shoes that he probably like greased up this morning with the black, to make sure that they were like,
he shined them up.
He shined them up, you know what I'm saying? And then he's got like the chain from his wallet to his like thing, and then he's got his keys chain.
And he's got his box cutter.
And he's got, that's on there. He's probably got 2 of them, one in the front pocket and one that clips on, And then he's got like, of course, then his mask on, but then he's got like the second mask, like the, like one of those longer ones around his neck.
What
like,
are those called? The gators?
The gators. Yeah, he's got the gator, but then he's got the mask on. So maybe, if someone gets too close, he's doubled up. And then, the hair is kind of a little bit wild in the back,
That's so
and
great.
He's walking real serious, like he is ready to start his shift. So I sent you that text, right? I'm like, you are not going to believe this. And what did you say? Do you remember what your response was? He'll probably be running that store in a few years, right?
Yes, those are the people.
Those are the people that we need and we want.
Yeah.
Like, you take your shift seriously.
God, it's so nice to have people like that.
It is amazing. Like, I was so proud of him. We make fun of them,
but we really need them.
Well, I was making fun of him because it was so serious. Yes. You know what I mean? Not any type of appearance or anything like that. Just because he was showing up to work.
Yeah.
We need someone like that in every department.
Not like Paul Produce, who spends 4 hours stocking potatoes.
Paul. Oh, we love him.
I'm just joking, Paul. Come on.
He's a hard worker. He is.
We're all hard workers,
but oh man, it was just like, and that's,
but I'm not that serious. Although, like you said, when I got like my pouch for work and stuff, you were like, "Look at you! You got your pouch and your box."
Well, that's a really cool. Like, it's like
what do you call it? A crossover.
Crossover. Right.
Yeah,
that's
because
really
I need my crap.
There's a
and
couple
of course,
people that
women's
wear those.
pants don't have any real freaking pockets in them. Can somebody else fix that too, please?
Yeah, we need pockets.
I finally found a pair of jeans that fit me good, and they have all freaking 4 pockets on it. I was so excited.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going through a time where women want to look as thin as possible. So you take the pockets out, and then it's like the jeggings and the thinner, pull-ups and stuff like that. I know I'm fat.
Just give me my pockets.
I need pockets. I don't care if it makes me look bulkier. Because I have a belly.
I'm going to shove shit in my pockets anyway. So even if I am skinny, I'm going to look like I have a weird fupa. Yeah. Because I got a bunch of shit in my pockets.
You know what I tell everybody? So you got that really cool crossover, right? That you carry like what the IRCs or whatever you need for the day, maps or plans or whatever, right? Not maps. I'm thinking of MapQuest. Your plans and stuff for the day.
Print out my directions. Put it in.
It's still in my mind. Anyways, your plans or an email that maybe that you need or whatever.
My phone.
So
because
it's really neat.
The girls' pockets are like you can fit a lipstick in the front pocket if they have them, and even in the back pocket you can fit a chapstick.
Yeah,
I can't put my phone in any of my freaking pockets.
God, it's crazy.
So I need it just to carry my phone.
Yeah, true.
I have to have my phone at work. That's what we use for our job. That's how we communicate.
Yes.
That's how we send emails. That's how we take pictures. That's how we do everything in our job. We need our phone. That's how we report to work. And I have no pockets.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the beginning, where I was putting it? In my bra.
Oh gosh, and I've heard that's
I'm giving
not
myself
good.
breast cancer for my job because I have no
don't
pockets.
Do that. You have benefits, but don't do that.
Can I give myself ass cancer? Eat away at my ass a little
bit. Stop it. But yeah, so you have that cool crossover, but then everyone always asked me about my key holder. So it's just a hook.
Carabiner?
Is that what they're called?
I think that's what it's called.
So it's like a clip that people would use for like mountain climbing on their ropes.
Yeah.
Mine's real small.
Yeah.
And so I have it on my keys and I clip it to my pant loop.
Yeah.
Or to my pocket.
Yeah.
Every person that would see it would look at me and say, you know what? That's a really good idea. I lose my keys all the time.
Oh my God.
I'm like, really? Because I would like to go home after a day of work.
God.
So many people would compliment me on it.
You know what I saw today? So I was getting ready to leave the store and I was, putting in my stuff, reporting my work. And this guy is right in front of me, loading his groceries up in his trunk, closes the trunk, puts his card away, comes back, door locked. And he's like looking in his pockets.
Oh,
checks all 4 doors, door locked. He's looking like he had to have his keys because he opened the trunk. I think he accidentally put them in the trunk.
No. Oh no.
It's the worst feeling ever.
That is the worst feeling.
Even the girls that I just went on vacation with, they were laughing at me because like anytime we would get out of the car, like
who's got the keys?
I literally put them in my pouch because I don't wear my crossover.
But it's something
vacation,
similar. It's the tie-dye
but I wear
one.
my fanny pack,
Yes.
And I would put them in there and I would zip it and then we'd get out and I'd lock the door and I'd be like about to shut it and I would be like, hold on, open it, look. Yep, they're in there. Okay, lock it. And then even still have a little panic attack like, oh my God, did I really look for my keys or did I just like remember another time that I looked for my keys? It's like the one thing I have anxiety about is my keys.
Too.
Like,
where are they?
When I open my trunk, my keys go back in my purse. I never set my keys down in the trunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would like to say I'm like that with keys and phone, but how many times have we been out and I catch someone holding my phone from the bathroom, walking to the bar?
It was
like, that's
twice
mine!
in one night. Twice in one night.
And I know it's happened another night where I'm just like, I went to go take a picture or a selfie.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, where's my phone? And my phone has everything I need.
Everything.
It's got like my
Your
ID,
card,
my credit card, my social security card, my passport. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't have all that. But still enough,
like
I'd be
Social
screwed.
Security card. Oh my God.
Insurance card. Yeah, no, I'd be screwed. But yeah, so I would like to say I'm like that with my keys and my phone, but every time we go out, I forget my phone in the bathroom. But I've been very fortunate, knock on wood, wherever it is. I've been very, very fortunate that people have brought it back up.
Honest people.
Yep.
They're the ones who would not take the gas can full of sugar water.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Was that recorded? I don't even know.
Wait, tell me about this again.
Said if you want to find out if people in your town are really honest, since the gas shortage is going on, supposedly, leave a gas can full of sugar water like on your tailgate at Walmart and see if anybody takes it.
I feel like I've heard this story before. Stupid freaking recording.
And then if you go past your local mechanic and you see a car up, you'll know why. You'll know who not to trust. That's how you pick out the honest people.
I learned that a very, very long time ago. So my dad loves cutting his own grass. Like, don't touch it. Like he gets out there with the scissors. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
But they have a very big yard. They have 5 acres, but he would cut like the front too.
Yeah.
And I was like, had nothing to do. I'm like, Dad went up north or whatever. Maybe I'll help him. So I put regular gasoline in the push mower.
You got to do like gas oil mix,
yeah, it's
right?
like the mix, the 1-to-1 or whatever. So I'm like going at it. I'm like, no problem. It's like kind of like, I'm like, oh man, it's really dusty here. It's like July. We haven't like, I'm thinking I'm kicking up dirt. The whole thing was just smoking.
Oh my God. I don't know. That's got to be, I don't know enough about
pretty sure I wrecked his engine.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I wrecked
But there's a reason you gotta have oil in it, right? So what does the gas and oil both go through the engine then?
I don't
understand how that works.
I have no idea. But all I know is
Can
that
somebody go on our Facebook and explain to us how that works? I don't understand it.
So I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
And I've also heard stories of people that have accidentally put diesel in their cars, you know, which I don't know how they do that because the nozzle's bigger.
I don't think that it is.
Oh, I thought it was bigger.
People have said that, but I feel like it's the same. But also, like, I feel like an SUV has a bigger hole than. Stop it.
I'm sorry. Why does my mind go in the gutter when we chat?
Mine does too.
My eyes just kind of rolled like, okay, all right.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh. It has a bigger,
Sorry,
you know, I don't know. Because I've seen, you know, and I've seen like VWs. There's a lot of VWs that are diesel. And I'm like, oh my God, they're pumping diesel, you know. And then I'm like, oh, it's a VW. Yeah, it probably takes diesel, you know. So I don't know. There's been horror stories. I've never seen it. I don't think anybody put diesel in it, you know. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. They look the same to me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I go by the color of the handle.
You know, I should know this because my dad has always owned diesel trucks, but I don't know that I've ever had to fill it up.
Yeah.
I only screwed up his small lawnmower. Sorry,
well,
Dad.
if you're going to screw anything up, that'd be the thing.
That would be
that's
the thing.
The
it's a small,
thing.
Not his riding lawnmower that's real expensive.
Yeah, that was my stepbrother. Hey, Tyler, I know you listen to. He went to a gas station that had recently put diesel pumps in. And the guy who filled the underground tank didn't realize that they had started carrying diesel, and he filled the whole diesel tank with regular fuel.
Oh, no.
And here my stepbrother goes there, fills up his truck, you know, drives around a little bit, and is like, why is that so rough? He had to have like a whole bunch of stuff replaced on his truck. Like he had to have this filter replaced on his truck that you're never supposed to have to replace. Like it's good for the life of the vehicle. So that was like, I don't know, it was like 10 grand, you know? And then of course the guy who owns the gas station is like, I don't want to fucking pay it, you know? And he's like, what the hell? I think he ended up going through his insurance company.
Yeah, I would think so. That's terrible.
What do you call that insurance that you have? It's not regular insurance. It's the comprehensive.
Okay.
The comprehensive. So a lot of people don't know this. I learned this from him. Like if your engine blows, that's what your comprehensive insurance is for.
Oh.
You pay your deductible, they replace your engine.
Oh.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that.
I thought you were just screwed if your engine blew and like it wasn't under warranty or whatever, you know? So if you're one of those people that put that dirty sugar water in your gas tank
because you stole it from somebody,
you'll have to use your comprehensive insurance and pay your deductible for a new engine.
No, maybe that is why that happened.
Because
let me explain it. We're laughing through this whole thing because we were talking to ourselves for like 20 minutes and not recording, and then you just said
it's our 13th episode.
That's why.
Dun dun dun. Isn't there like a
It's because it's our
13th episode. We got jinxed on this one. I'm going to say that's pretty good. We've gone, I mean,
I have not had any problems. Probably
our first
since
episode, I feel like we were a little like, because we had no idea what we were doing, you know? So hopefully like people will give us some good graces on our first episode because I mean, I think it was good, but we had no idea what we were doing.
The only thing that we heard back was that there was too much music, so I actually went in and I fixed it.
Yeah,
so that people would, and it actually showed in our numbers that they did listen to the first one and went on to the second one. And so, and really we talk so much now that I don't add too much music.
No.
It's like quick, 5 seconds into like just a break or something if we need to take it. Yeah.
It gives me a break to have a smoke while I'm listening.
No, you don't. Usually it's coughing or I'm drinking or...
Oh, that's great. So yeah, I want to go back to
what?
The snap I sent you today.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
Ew.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Yeah, paint us the picture, please, of this.
I'm at a store today, and I'm like, I'm going to take a break and get some coffee. I needed some coffee, and so there's the coffee shop in the store. And then they have this other break area over there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there waiting for my coffee to be made, and I kind of turn around, and I see this girl is over here dipping chocolate covered strawberries. And I was
in the coffee area?
Yeah. And I was like, because like you said, during grand opening, you'd like make makeshift tables wherever.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, she didn't have anywhere to work. So she set up her own little like station area, right? And I was like, ooh, those chocolate covered strawberries look good. Well, then I noticed she's taking them like out of the container, setting them on this like dirty counter.
Oh no.
And just like picking them up from there and like why take them out of the container? Why can't you just I never saw her wash them, straight from the container, set them on the counter.
Did you say something?
No. What am I going to say? I'm the health department. What are you doing with those strawberries? I didn't see you wash them, and you're putting them on the dirty counter. If you're not going to wash them, at least just take them from the container and dip it into the chocolate. Why do you have to set it on the dirty counter in between? No paper down.
Yeah.
No, like put them on the pan. Put them on a plate.
Yeah.
Hold it in your
hand. I had to watch her
hand.
snap a couple times because I couldn't figure out what she was doing.
She was dipping dirty ass strawberries.
I mean, so even if she rinced them, let's just say she rinsed them in the container, she's still sticking them on the counter.
Them on the counter.
Oh, no. The
hell is wrong with you? Did you not learn anything in your foods class?
Speaking of strawberries, there is a store in the city that I would always go help out with around the holidays because I absolutely loved the people. And I would always go in deli or in bakery. They were just the hardest workers and they were so kind. And they loved when I would come to visit. It was like a party.
Yeah.
I would show up and I'd be like, what do you need me for? They were like, she's here. How long do we have you for? That's what they would always ask. There was a girl there. I don't think she works there anymore, but she was the #1 chocolate covered strawberry seller.
Oh my gosh.
In the stores.
They sell like we just had Mother's Day and it was insane. Which I was wondering, I'm like, why is this chick still dipping strawberries? Do they sell them all the time?
I think they sell them all the time.
I never noticed
I think
them. Well, I'll never fucking eat them.
Well, I don't know where you were. You have to let me know where you were after we get off here. But this one is just north of the city. Like it's still considered a city store. And she always, like, that was her job, was to do that almost every day. Like she worked in the sweet shop. Yeah. And then she always made those. Everyone came for hers. I'm like, you got to open up your own bakery.
Yeah, right.
Like whatever it is, like
she
her.
Decorated them
whatever
stuff.
she did, everybody came to her to buy. She would make like 12 in like a little heart thing, or she would just sell 1 or 2. And they would have a stand out right by the front, and people would be in line just buying her strawberries. So I don't know what she did. I don't know if she ordered
probably washed them.
She probably washed them and didn't put them on a dirty counter.
They're like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah. Nobody got the shits after eating her strawberries, and they figured they could return and buy some more. Oh, that
terrible.
Poor girl. I don't know. Man. I think I probably would have said something. I probably would have said, hey, I'm going to get you a second pan that's washed.
I'm not.
I know.
You're a little more overachiever than I am.
A little bit.
I'm just like, oh, well, I'll never buy chocolate dipped strawberries again.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I mean, we got a couple places around here that I trust.
Yes.
That they do a very well process, so.
Yes, there is a couple places here, but I remember I was with my friend. She lives up in Wisconsin. Oh, so I've known her for years. And she kept telling me about this bakery that's downtown here.
Yeah.
You have to try this place. It is the best place. Everybody goes there.
Yeah.
There's lines all the time during the holidays. So I'm like, fine. She makes me go with her. We park downtown. I get in there. Nothing looked good to me.
No.
I don't know what it was, but she was like, I'll take one of those. Like, she was loving it all. And I think there was even like Italian cookies and like bigger cookies. And I was like,
I
on a cookie
think
kick.
those Italian cookies are good.
Well,
I never
they're sour.
think they are.
They're sour. Like,
I just
like,
don't like. I feel like I can make. If I'm not gonna buy cookies. I'm gonna make cookies.
That's true. We do, and we do every year, and they usually last me till like the end of February.
Yeah,
but anyways,
we always have our cookie.
But they do
day.
have that. Well, I guess they're not really sour, but some of them that they make do have
They're
like
weird.
some kind of zest in them.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, so we were there at this place. The ladies are very nice that work there. I shouldn't just say ladies. I'm sure there was, but there were ladies there, and they were so nice. Whatever you want. So I'm like, you know what? I want this smiley face cookie. That is the cutest thing.
Ew.
I see you decorating them back there. It's a sugar cookie. I'm safe. So we get into the car, and my friend is having her donut, and I think she had her young ones with, and they were eating their cookies.
Yeah.
And I go to break apart my cookie, and it's connected by a hair.
Ew.
It was like baked into the cookie. That was the longest.
Sick.
And I looked at her, I go, and this is why I am never coming back. So anytime anyone mentions the bakery,
I'm
just
the bakery
like,
that we all know right here? Oh my God, it is.
Probably.
Do you know how many donuts I've eaten from there?
You've had a lot of hairs then.
Ew.
No, I don't know. It probably was just my luck because that's how it is. And my food's always wrong. But,
I'd always laugh when I'd have my other besties over for dinner and I'd be like, who got the dog hair? They won.
So that's not fun. Ew. So wear your hair nets.
That's
you know what's, I love this. So when we worked at our store, it was all about hairnet from like your forehead, like pretty much to your eyebrows to like the middle of your back.
Yeah.
Like you had to make sure that you were covered.
Even if you had like chin length hair, it still went all the way down your back.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it was pinned like in through your teeth, so that there was no hair anywhere. They were
covers
serious.
your eyes so you don't lose eyelashes. Oh, you got a mustache? You got to wear a hairnet.
Yes, or a beard net or whatever, They were very strict about that.
Yeah.
They did not want hairs, which is great. Appreciate it. Never found a hair at our old place,
Right.
But then I go to other places and all they have to do is wear hats.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say the women, because men like usually just wear your hair back, but the women have these cute ponytails up.
Yeah.
And their hair's like sticking up. It's like, it looks like a fountain coming out of the hat or the visor or whatever. And I'm like, how are you getting away with this? It's the same people that come to the other store to look. I guess you just have to wear a hat now.
Yeah.
But years ago,
That's
you
gross.
had to be covered to the max.
Right.
But, luckily, the other place, I haven't found a hair either.
I think it's just different standards.
Yeah, it must be. I don't know.
Because our good friend Drew always says the whole point of a hairnet isn't to keep hair out of the food. It's to keep you from touching your hair.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
that's a good point because I am someone that like
I feel like it's both.
I pick my face, I rub my face.
Yeah,
you
touch your like.
I am
see
someone that touches my face.
Yeah,
yes,
I
am
then they
that
touch
person.
stuff, and I'm like, stop.
Okay, that makes
teach
sense.
You anything?
Yeah, I mean maybe there's two truths to that. Yeah,
because,
for sure.
Yeah, at our place now, I'll like go like to say like the meat department, and I'll be like, oh, do you guys have this? And they're like, yeah, just come in back and get it. And I'm like. I have no hairnet on. I have no non-slip shoes on. I have no apron on. Like, I'm back there like pricing meat and shit to put out on the shelf, and my hair is down.
Yeah.
I'm flipping it around.
Yeah. Well, you always have it back nice. It's
I do.
Back.
I usually try, but I mean,
like for me, I have short hair. I can't put it back.
Yeah.
So I have to have a hat on.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a hat from when I worked at the other place. Like 8 weeks ago or whatever. And it's in the trunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going to go for a hike and I forgot a hat and I don't like the sun on my face anymore.
You're wearing that one.
No, I didn't. So I went to go look at it and you could see my fingerprints of whatever I touched before, like probably some like prime rib or something. I'm like, this is disgusting. You didn't, and once again, you don't realize how much you touch, right? So I must have kept adjusting the hat,
because you were probably sweating. So you're using the hat to like clean up your sweat.
You can see like the salt mark,
Ew.
I don't know how you guys do it. You guys wear hats every day. Well, I guess I did it for a long time too.
I can't, like I've tried wearing hats and I can't get used to it. I get like a rash on my forehead.
There's some people that I'm used to them wearing hats, and there's some people like you. I can't picture you wearing a hat. I just don't ever see. I just don't ever. I don't know that you would look weird, but I just don't ever see you wearing one. So
that's why.
It's like my daughter. We went for a hike yesterday, and she came out downstairs. She goes, "My hair is crazy," and she had a hat on. I'm like, "What?
Who are you?
Who are you?"
What? What'd you do with my daughter?
Yeah, I know, because she never wears hats.
And she just dyed her hair.
And
so you're
she
like,
just dyed her
shit.
hair. Yeah, I was
Who
like,
are you? You were just telling me when you went to the tanning salon.
So we went to the tanning salon to get spray tans. We don't do the other stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I'm aged enough. And so she was standing in the lobby, but I didn't realize that. I came out and I was going to use the bathroom because we were going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I looked to my right. And I'm like, who's this bitch staring at me? So then, I keep my resting bitch face and I turn the other way. I use the bathroom. I come back out and I look as I'm getting closer and I'm like, oh, were you standing here the whole time? She's like, yeah, nice look.
She's like, now I know why strangers never talk to you. You didn't even recognize your own daughter. That's crazy.
It's so funny.
It is a big change. She was blonde and she went brunette.
Yes. Well, in her natural color.
Yeah. And I just said.
It's not her and her brother look like twins.
Yeah. I saw a picture of her on Facebook and I was like, I didn't even recognize her. Like, oh, shit. That's her.
I didn't even recognize her at the salon.
And you rode there with her.
That's funny.
Oh, that is great. That's funny.
That salon is funny. So we have like a yearly membership. We just pay it's like a Black Friday thing. So we just pay for the whole year because it saves us so much money.
Yeah.
And once a week we'll go and get a spray tan. I love that it's aloe based.
Yeah.
And so we always walk in and those people are so nice. They must pay them well or treat them well. It has been the same people for years. So
I love that.
Yeah, and one is going through college. She's always working in her books. The other one I think probably already graduated.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's the owner or like the manager and or the wife of I don't know who she is. Always very nice. And it's just neat to see that people aren't changing over as often as you see in other places.
Well, I think that speaks volumes about if you're good to your employees, they'll be loyal to you,
Mm-hmm.
And especially like you think of, maybe somebody was a stay-at-home mom and to get a job that you can, work a few hours Monday through Friday. Why are people so strict about having, that was at our last place.
Yeah.
They wanted you to be available 24/7, 7 days a week and be on call, you can't expect people to do that.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like most people do want like the sweetheart schedule, they would always call it, which was Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30.
Yeah.
But I found if you would work with people, they were more likely to say yes if you said, hey, I need you for 3 Sundays next month. And they would be like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, I'll take Friday off instead.
Yeah, or can you give me Friday, Monday off or something like that? Yeah, exactly.
If you, like,
you got to treat your people good. If you're a manager, which I think most of the people that we know that are managers are very good managers.
Yeah,
they treat their people good. They're fair.
Yeah.
They explain
and
things.
They don't hire people just to get bodies in the door. They say, if you're not available for this, and this, then I'm not going to hire you.
They tell them straight up.
Yeah.
So I know some companies that they don't tell them anything. No, well, we'll try to get you mornings Monday through Friday when they know for sure, they know for a fact they're going to need you nights and weekends. That's not fair.
It's not.
So then this person goes through the whole interview process.
Yeah, which costs the company money.
It costs the company money.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I remember the old secretary said it costs like $350 just to hire somebody. So why would you waste the time of hiring somebody knowing that you're not going to give them what they want and they're not going to show up?
I remember doing interviews and I would tell people straight up, here's how the job is. It sucks. It's retail.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to help customers.
Yes.
You're going to have to maybe be late on a break because
and then
you're
people would
helping
be
a
like,
customer.
well, I've worked here for 10 years. I shouldn't have to do that anymore. Girl, I've worked here for 10 years too and I still do it.
Yep.
It's retail.
It's retail. Don't
if
think
you
you're
want
on a different level.
Friday, work at a bank.
Yeah.
That's what I always said. If you want Monday through Friday, go work at a bank, you know? And even then, we have I was just talking to my friend.
Yeah.
That he works at a bank. I won't say what bank or anything.
No.
And he told me a really funny story today.
When's he coming on, by the way?
Thank you, Mr. Banker.
I think he listens, right? Does he listen?
He does.
He needs to come on.
He texted me today, and he was like, hey, I got caught up on your episodes.
Yes.
And I was like, see? I'm like, you need to be a guest. I'm like, come be our guest, please. So he tells me, he's like, this old man is like shuffling through, and he's like going real slow, like pushing his cart, and he like stops, lifts up his shirt so he can pull his pants up. His whole ass was hanging out of his pants.
No.
And he's like, don't you miss working here? I was like, I miss you.
Aww.
Like he's such a dick. He knows. I tell him all the time.
Yeah.
But like I miss him.
He was always nice to me. I mean, I barely talked to him, but he was nice to me.
Right. We would always tease each other, give each other a hard time. Like we knew we were assholes, you know, but he has some of the best stories because he would just sit there and people watch all day long.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it was the best. He would have the best stories. You really need to come on, Mr. Banker.
So I'm going to go back to something real quick because we were talking about managers, treating your people right.
Yes.
I have something that I keep in my phone all the time.
Yes.
It's a reminder for what I've been through and also how I want to manage.
Yeah.
And it says, nothing will destroy a great employee faster than watching your employer tolerate and reward the bad ones.
Yep.
So
it's so true.
Yeah, let's touch on that real quick because my experiences have been that for some reason the ones that can get away with murder are the ones that are rewarded.
So
I don't understand that.
Okay, so me and you are the type of people that we go to work, we keep our heads down, we do the best job we can with what we have. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And that's with everything, right?
We worked what we were told. and we'd show up and we would do our job and get the fuck out, and then we'd bitch about it later.
And then they would expect more. Hey,
Exactly.
you did this last Wednesday. Can you do this week, Wednesday,
Yes.
Thursday? Or, hey, you did that
Yes.
whole thing over there. Can you do double this next time?
So, you know what? And that's crazy that you brought that up, because it's like we would do 2, 3, 4 jobs at once, and we got paid for one, And my good friend that we just went on vacation with, she was at this job. She did like accounting, I'll say. I'm not even really sure that's what she did, but at the beginning of Corona, they like laid off half of their people, right? Well, guess what? She stayed. She got 3 other people's work, and they cut her pay by 30%.
Wow.
How do you expect? She got a new job.
Yeah.
Of course she got a new job.
Yeah.
And she's making more money, and
doing one role, probably.
Doing one role. Yeah. And she's like, I kind of feel like, kind of ripping this company off, like, I'm like, you're worth it.
Yeah, she's worth it, and she's probably very good at what she does.
I said,
so now she's finally being rewarded for the hard work.
She does not realize her worth. It's like, you should have always been making that much money.
Yeah.
And when those people got laid off, you should have got a 20% raise.
I can't tell you how many conversations I've had in my kitchen. Our bestie was one of them.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm going for this job.
Yeah.
And the way that we all think, we're not good enough.
Right.
Even though we know we're all hard workers.
I know.
Everyone that listens is a hard worker.
Yeah.
I know they are
Yeah.
because we know them all.
Yeah.
And so I just remember having conversations in the kitchen. Okay, they're going to probably offer me this. They're going to lowball me, but I'm going to be doing this. I never complain about the schedule, blah, blah. And then sure enough, you have a number in mind, or here you go in for your interview. You're rock solid with your interview. You answer everything not correctly, but just positively.
Right.
And I'm going to do that for you. And then they lowball you.
Yep.
It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And
pay the ones that do the work.
I've been caught where they're like, well, how much are you looking to make? And I'd already have a number in my head that I knew I wasn't going to go under, and I would ask for 20 grand more.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
You have to.
There is money to be made in this world, people.
Yes.
Do not settle.
Right.
Please don't settle.
Don't lowball yourself.
I'm not going to say I've been through like a million interviews, but I've been through enough because I had 9 different positions where we worked. And I had to interview
for each
one.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have already been something that I knew I was probably going to get.
Right.
But there were some that 4 or 5 people went for it.
Yeah.
So I had to interview for every single one.
Yeah.
And I felt like every single time I would have a number in mind and they were 20 grand less.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fine, I need this job.
I know.
And
I know.
I feel bad for those that are going through that right now.
You could have fought it and probably got that 20 grand.
A couple times I did fight it and they would come back.
Yeah.
But then it was the fear of, okay, well, there were 4 other people that interviewed. They probably will just go offer it to one of them.
Yeah.
So it was that fear at first for the first few.
Yeah.
Then,
people who had less seniority, less experience. Oh, well, we can pay them less. You know, I just saw there was somebody posted a job listing and it was, required a master's degree. And then
in retail?
Pay, no.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't it. No, it was just like a random,
I got you.
Facebook post. And it was required a master's degree and the pay was $15.92 an hour.
Oh, so
Imagine
weird.
Having a master's degree and making less than $20 an hour. I can't imagine that. But that's what these companies are doing to people, So I'm going to tell everybody who's listening right now, if you've been in your job for 5 years or more and you've gotten the minimum raise that they will offer you, that means they gave you a 20 cents cost of living raise and maybe, maybe an extra $500 a year or whatever, and you're damn good at your job, go look for a new job.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many stories I've seen of people saying, they told me I'd get a raise next year, but then it wasn't in the budget. And then it was next year and it still wasn't in the budget. And then they gave me more work. And you know what? I went to this other company and now I make $100,000 a year and I was making $60,000 a year there. You are worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Oh, man. Yep.
I can't tell people that enough. I've seen so many stories where people are like, I never stay at a job for more than 3 years because I know they're never going to give me a raise. They're going to give me more work. And every time I hop to a new job, I make $20,000 extra. So in the last, 10 years, I'm up 60 grand from where I was 10 years ago because every 2 or 3 years, I just go find a new job.
And I've heard from a lot of people that retail is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a stepping stone.
Right.
We're in retail. and we do very well.
Yeah.
All our friends are in retail, and we do very well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a stepping stone. Don't make people don't make people tell you that retail is a stepping stone to something better. It's not. Retail is a career.
Right.
You just have to know what to ask for.
Right.
You have to fight for you. I just read a post on one of our friends, or I just read, a Facebook post. One of our friends she was saying, and I know she listens to this podcast, so she'll know it's her. Why am I always last picked?
Yeah.
Why don't they pick me?
Yeah.
Why? I show up, I work, I do everything they say.
Yep.
And it was like a whole long post, and I just wanted to cry for her.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's better out there.
Yeah.
She just isn't getting the right interview.
Yeah.
Or maybe not her personally, but maybe you're just going for an interview that is under you. So then they're going to pay you that amount.
Right.
Go for the bigger one.
Go for the big one.
Go for it.
I think a lot of our friends have a lot of responsibility at their job, and they're not scared of responsibility, and they'll go do it. And it's like,
but don't be scared of
don't
asking
be scared
for more
to
money.
ask for the money.
Yeah.
Don't let these people who have been there less years than you make more money than you,
Yep.
And that's one thing I like about like the place, not where we work, but who we work for. Like, I know there's some managers that make more than store directors because they got in at a good time.
Yeah.
When the pay was good. And they're like, I'm never moving up because I make more than some of these store directors. I'm like,
there are certain
smokes.
departments. Yeah. Holy smokes. There are some departments that are like, they're it for that store.
Well,
so of course you're going to be rewarded for it. Yeah.
Food always makes more than any other department.
Right.
And somebody was just talking. I like totally butted in on somebody's conversation the other day.
It doesn't
too.
sound like you.
Okay. He was talking about, he's like, yeah, and why am I working in the deli and the cashiers are making the same amount as me? And I was like, whoa, what? That doesn't sound right,
No.
I'm like, food always makes more. I totally butted into his conversation. He's like, I know, right? What the hell? I'm back here about to cut my fingers off, and I'm making the same amount as a cashier, And I was I'm like, no, that's not right. He's like, I understand. We both have hard jobs. I'm not saying they're worth less.
Right, and I agree. Yeah.
He goes, well, I have to get food certified and this and that. And that was something I always bitched about out at the gas station. My cashiers did not make as much as the cashiers inside. They were paid as a less department, and they had to do so much more.
Yeah.
They had to handle food. They had to handle deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
They had to stock those deliveries, and they got paid less than a cashier in the store.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
That was one thing I did not agree with. And I fought for them on that, but obviously there was nothing I could do. I was just a little peon.
I know that there's different tiers throughout the store of who gets paid what, and I know that they always said that they paid their cashiers a lot less than foods and any department, but they also have to remember that the cashier can make or break a shopping experience.
Right.
So you pay that person just a little bit more.
Right.
So I'm not saying that they should be getting paid as much as a butcher because they are making that money there. But they could make or break that experience. Like you were just talking about. You were kind of a little bit crabby to the lady, right?
I'd be like, bitch, get out of my face. I make $9.25 an hour. I don't give a fuck.
You pay the cashiers a little bit more, maybe they'll do a little extra for you. I don't know.
Maybe
they won't. But
I think about what our cashiers did. If it was a slow day, our cashiers would mop floors, sweep floors.
Oh, they would be
take
checking
the little
candy
tennis
codes.
ball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they would go stock groceries.
When we were there,
everywhere.
that was the prime of that store. I'm honestly.
I know. I agree.
Truly, that was. I mean, I'm sure they would disagree because there's a new group in there that are just as awesome.
That place went to shit after we left.
And that's not true. But I mean, when we were there, it was really a fun group.
Well, and like
we all worked the same. We all worked hard.
That goes back to you work hard, you play hard. We put the shoe polish on the phone, but we were sweeping floors when we did it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, because you had to look busy before they picked up the phone, so.
Couldn't suspect me.
I'll never forget. We had someone that always checked the candy and would rotate the candy. And then he unfortunately got ill and he was gone for a few months.
Yes.
And no one touched
Nobody
the candy.
touched the candy.
Do you remember that?
Ain't my job. I'm not touching it,
But they would stock it. So you would go into the room, you'd grab some candy, you would stock your register, but nobody rotated. So I don't know how I even got into this. It was like our awesome store director that I absolutely love him.
Yes.
I don't even know how it happened.
He probably bought an expired candy bar and was like, what the hell
and
is
then looked,
this?
And I was standing there next to him, because I was probably telling him some stupid story. And he was like, hey, go check all these. And we found bins.
And how many lanes did we have at that store? I think we had 24.
24 or 26. Yeah, 24. I think you're right. And so we had to check
24 lanes.
And we were out for weeks of
Everyone's
candy.
Like, where'd all the candy go? We're like, it was old.
Yeah, it was old. Sorry.
Sorry, we sold you really old gum.
Yeah, I'm sure a few people remember this because the boxes would just be empty.
Yeah.
And then people would try to be polite and like bring the empty box up like, hey, this is empty. No, leave the box there
Leave the
because
box there.
we got to know where it goes. We got to know the plan.
We'll never figure it out again. On all 24 lanes.
Oh, man. And those lanes were so dusty.
Yeah.
Like some of the other, like the ones that aren't used very often, they were so I remember sneezing, checking all the candy. But, I mean, we did it and, it's done. So that's a full-time job right there. Maybe. But,
that was like 10 years ago.
So check your lane
dates.
Candy.
You know what? So I shop at I'm gonna call this store out because I shop there, and it's a place where you have to check dates.
Oh yeah,
Woodman's.
Oh really?
Yes.
Really?
I swear to God, they never
I've never
rotate
ever been
anything.
there.
You've never been there?
Okay, no, I take that back. I was up in one in Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I went with my daughter. She was young. We had some dirty guy follow us around in the store. I felt the store was very dirty.
I'm telling
you.
We
did shopping. We got up there and they only took cash and I only had a debit card. I was like, and that was the last time. And that was 15 years. No, probably 10 years ago.
They only do cash, debit, or Discover card. A lot
at
of
the
people
time,
don't like
they
that.
only did cash.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So I was like, never going back. So I haven't even been to the one that's here.
No.
But I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Go
no,
ahead.
it's fine. Yeah. No, it's I have to check the date on everything.
Wow.
And I'll always go to the back. Like, shit is expired all the time there. I'm calling you out, Woodman's. If you're an employee at Woodman's, check your dates, you dirty people.
That surprises me because that place is packed.
Well, it's huge, and they have so much stuff.
Yeah, pallet after pallet.
I can't imagine, it's hard enough to stock the shit, let alone rotate it all.
So is it just pallet drops everywhere?
Not everywhere. They have shelving also.
So they do have people that are stocking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they got those weird robots that go around and scan the shelves and, like, order. And it'll be like, please move. Please move. Please move. If you stand in front of it.
I have a little bit of anxiety. That would absolutely give me anxiety.
I know. I don't like it. I'm like, oh, God, sorry. Oh, God, what is that? Please move.
No, is it like all times of the day?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Stop
It's just going
it.
around. And it'll stop and, like, I don't know if it takes a picture or scans barcodes.
So instead of saying, please move, it should say, here, take this one. It's a better date. They should be checking dates, not checking for orders.
It's like, move, bitch.
Yeah.
Move, bitch.
Can you change it? You know how you know how you change, like, the registers? Can you change it?
I'll try.
Yeah.
It'll be like, nobody will know what it's saying. I don't know what language that was. That was my own language.
It's not like you said chocolate.
We need to learn it in Italian.
All right. We'll go ask Steve.
Ciao.
Ciao, bella. That means hi, beautiful. You'd be like, well, thank you.
Oh, I'd be like, what, bitch? What'd you call me? Please
beautiful.
move. Please move.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's scary. It's creepy. I was saying I want to check out the Amazon store.
Yes.
I'll
go with you.
I want to, but then I don't because I'm like, I don't want to take jobs from people. But I was saying that earlier.
Yeah,
I don't want to
there's
take
still
jobs
people
from
that
people
work there, though.
But then I'm like, but nobody wants to work. We might as well get used to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll have to take a field trip. We'll get our other
Yeah.
busty. We'll get our other busty.
Busty bestie. We're all busty besties over here. Yeah, I want to check that out. You totally just like put it in the cart and it scans it as you put it in the cart.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, we'll go check it out.
there.
Then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So let's go. Let's go.
yeah.
So we have
Field trip.
Roxanne tomorrow.
Yes.
We have Kevy next week.
Kevy!
Yeah, I'm excited for both. So excited for both. Yeah, we
That's
got a few
great.
people coming on, so
Awesome.
very excited.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it recorded now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, so
Do
episode
we have to
13,
talk about all of this all over again?
We don't. It
Okay.
definitely recorded.
Yay!
13th
episode. We're creepy.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This is I just love it.
I'm
It's
having
such a
so much
dream.
fun doing
It's so much
this.
fun. And I love that people want to come on. Okay, wait, I got one more story. So we went out a few Fridays ago. I don't
Yeah.
want it to end. We went out a few Fridays ago, and I absolutely loved that people were walking up to us saying, that was so funny when
Oh
you
my
guys were
God.
talking. And I was like, Oh my God, I don't remember talking about that because it was like episode 5.
We don't ever remember what we talked
about.
But
I love that people come up and they're like, that is so funny. That just happened to me. I was driving the other day and they want to like tell you their stories.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So I was with Julia. We were at our store and someone walked up and they were like, oh my God, you guys were so funny. That just happened to me.
I love
They were talking about like the bakery freezer or something like that or something back in meat. I'm just like smiling. It just makes me so happy.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to this because a lot of people work retail, customer service in general, like waitressing, bartending.
I love that people come up and relate.
Everything.
And every Friday I get Snapchats of funny stuff. I get my people that text all the time. Like Brianna, she always lets me know. I was worried. Actually, I was worried. This is funny. She's going to laugh about this. So on Friday it came out, Val Dash came out. And I didn't hear from Brianna. I'm like, she didn't like it. Oh no.
She gave up on us. She finally gave up on us.
I was like, oh no, we weren't that funny. What are we going to do? So sure enough, today she was like, oh, I forgot to text you on Friday. It was so funny. I loved hearing Cass's background like when she was younger or whatever.
Yeah, because me and Val had some crazy days.
We're good.
That's funny.
I live for that stuff.
I know.
I love it. I love Fridays.
You know what I was going to tell you today is we have the Facebook page and Meredith is the main person on the Facebook page and she made me a moderator and I cannot like our stuff.
You can't personally like our stuff. I can't
personally like it. Every time I try to like a post, it's like the Clopen effect, like the Clopen effects link. I can't.
And it makes me laugh every time.
I'm like,
oh, guess we're liking our own stuff.
I have to get off. So if you ever see that, that's my dumb ass. I don't know how to change it over. It won't let me. I have to like sign in on a laptop and I don't have one. I have my phone.
So
that's
funny.
it.
Oh man.
So we're taking me off as moderator.
No,
today.
we're
so
not.
I have to share it. I can't even share anything. It's like the Clopen effect. Share the Clopen effects post.
Okay, we'll fix it somehow.
I got to get a laptop or something. I don't know.
Well, maybe, we're going to be starting to, collect some money here. So maybe everybody can buy you a laptop.
Everybody, we're going to put up a GoFundMe. It's for my laptop so I can moderate the Facebook and Instagram pages.
Or not doing a GoFundMe.
I think we should. Mama needs a laptop.
It out. Oh, man. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yes,
this was so fun. So fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk to you later.
Bye. 13th episode.
This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.